Yo, VIP. Let's kick it. Ice, ice, baby.
Hi, this is George, and in this video I'll be talking all about UV sterilizers. I'm going to go over everything, including purchasing, benefits, installing, use, safety, everything UV sterilizers. So be ready for a lot of information coming your way. So, first off, why do you need a UV sterilizer? There are countless water problems that a UV sterilizer may help you with. Common problems are ick, green algae blooms, and unclear water. All of these have one thing in common: bacteria. Many people try to solve these problems with liquid chemicals. Unless you have a perfect equilibrium of dosage, it usually won't work. If it doesn't work, stop and just move on and get a UV sterilizer. Even the best cleaned aquariums can have aggressive algae. Normal feeding, biological filtration, and inhabitant activity can easily contribute to excessive algae nutrient levels. Also, our aquariums are exposed to light on a daily basis. Both nutrients and light encourage algae growth. After all, algae are in essence plants, and all plants thrive on nutrients and light. So what is UV sterilization? It's actually a very simple process for removing unwanted, free-floating bacteria and parasitic organisms out of your water by passing the water through ultraviolet UV light. The organisms die, eradicating your aquarium water of these unwanted nuisances. This results in clarification, lower disease pathogens, and improves redox in your aquarium or pond. A correctly installed and well-designed UV sterilizer can kill most suspended bacteria and many viruses in the water column, while not affecting bacteria colonies in filter media and substrate. Let me explain the physical nature of what happens a little bit more. So a pump pushes the water through a UV sterilizer, which is more like a tube, I'll show you later, at a specific flow rate, where the water will come in contact with the UVC light, producing light either directly or indirectly via a quartz sleeve. The sleeve is a clear container, sort of that the light does not obviously contact the water, but the UV light then sterilizes the water and it's returned to your tank. Will UV sterilizers affect water parameters? Yes and no. The use of a UV sterilizer will not directly affect the amounts of nitrates, ammonia, nitrites, GHPH, KH, and so the use of a UV sterilizer should not be considered either a positive or negative to all these parameters. However, a properly installed and well-designed UV sterilizer will lower organics in the water column, so this can indirectly affect KH levels. As well, the use of properly installed and well-designed UV sterilizers can more directly affect redox bounds by reacting with the oxidants in your water column, which turns lower oxidizing stressors to fish. Right now, all these facts may seem sort of complex, but once I break down the UV sterilizer and show you how to install it in a tank like my Nuvo 30-gallon, you'll see it really isn't that complicated. So then people ask, well, if it kills bacteria and organics, what else does it kill? UV sterilizers will destroy parasites such as ick during the newborn free-swimming life cycle of that bacteria. But they do not kill or remove ick parasites once attached to the fish. So it's not going to get rid of your problem, it's just going to help keep you from developing this problem. UV sterilizers, however, will simply just not kill your fish. It is a very low chance by adding a UV sterilizer that it may stress a fish, but that really should not happen. Again, a UV sterilizer can clear green water in an aquarium or pond. However, if you are seasoning dead rock, such as so-called live rock that was just imported, you are using sterile chloride calcium-based rock, or aragostrate. It's best to turn off your UV for a few weeks. After your tank finish cycling for a couple months, however long it takes, then it's perfectly safe to add a UV sterilizer to your system. Now, the fun part, buying. I've seen many in action in various tanks. Some hold together better than others, but they're all basically doing the same thing. It's all about the flow rate your tank needs and the watts required. Units can range from $40 to hundreds of dollars. Some popular ones include the JBJ Nano the Green Killing Machine, Core Life ones, and BioKeep ones. I have the Nanos app, and that's what I'll show you installing. But again, it's all about what your tank needs. Do research. Unfortunately, most websites that sell products like these have somewhat biased reviews, and many people are just putting short-term experiences with the product versus like long-term. So you're not going to get the best reviews on a lot of sites, but just do your best to research for what you need. This is the JBJ Nanos app. This is what I have in this tank, and now I'll break it down for you, show you exactly like what you get in the box, how to install it, what it's like, so you can really figure out whether your tank needs one of these. Alright guys, so this is what we have. We have the Nanos app right here. I'll do a little unboxing, show you what's inside, and then show you how to install it. So, when you take out all the pieces, first of all, it's just a lot of tubing. You're going to need a lot of known tubing for your tank needs. You just got some manuals, warranty, all that nice stuff, and that's pretty much it. Then you have, because I've already taken it out and I use it, the UV sterilizer. It's got a bunch of safety things. And while we're on the topic of safety, I'd like to talk about safety. So UV sterilizers can be damaging the light to the human eye. So don't look directly into the bulb ever. Always unplug your unit when working on it to prevent possible shock if it breaks and gets wet. An inline UV sterilizer is best. This should be installed after your filter, as the less particles your UV has to get through, the better results you will have. Also, installing your UV after your filters allows the filters to have the best possible biofiltration. Let's talk about the design of the UV sterilizer. So this opens up, you spin it, and you can clearly now see the quart sleeve. So the water is going through this ring, through the unit, going back out, while it hits the UV light, which can be very bright. That's called the quart sleeve. That is totally secure, but the problem is when you're using these, you need to be very, very careful, because many of the different aspects of the UV sterilizer break. So when you turn it back on, you have to do it very slowly. When you twist this back on, you have to do it very slowly. Everything is very delicate about the unit. Make sure you securely tighten everything. You do not want to have leaks. This is my synchro pump, and what you do is you take the tubing, connect that to the bottom of the UV sterilizer, and then this is the outlet back into my water, and you put that at the top. Then make sure it's tight. That's, like I said, very important. You do not want to have leaks here or here. So another question is, what influences the effectiveness of a UV sterilizer? Number one, wattage. Research what your tank needs. The watts this uses and the watts this uses are different. The watts my tank uses are different. It all has to be neutral and in sync. Number two, contact time. The longer it takes for the water to pass the bulb, the greater the contact time. So for this reason, the longer the UV sterilizer bulb, the better. Also, this is a good reason not to use a pump that's more powerful than recommended. The water will pass the UV sterilizer too quickly to maximize the effectiveness of the radiation. Make sure you know what pump you're using, because if the water is going too fast, it's not going to work. It's not going to be effective. It needs to have a good flow rate that really maximizes its potential. Number three, the age of the bulb. The UV sterilizer bulbs need to be replaced every 6 months. It will look like there is enough light, but it isn't. The strongest possible quart sleeves will not allow it to pass through, even though you can see it when it is dimmer. It will look significantly dimmer, and when this is the case, you purchase a replacement bulb. Replacement bulbs are, wow, they're expensive, and so you don't want to break the bulbs ever when changing them. Like I said, you need to be very careful. That leads us to number 4, light blockage. The UV sterilizer bulbs are containing the quartz sleeves, and the sleeves will be needed cleaned periodically to prevent light blockage. So you don't want the light to be too low, but you also don't want it to be very high and it's being blocked. That's not good either. Cleanness of the water going into the UV sterilizer, you may need to clean your UV sterilizer more or less often than someone else. So specifically the outside of the quartz tube, that is where the bulb is set, and that's what needs to be cleaned. Basically, if the UV light from the bulb can't penetrate the sleeve, then it won't reach the water that flows around the quartz sleeve. They should become very easy to maintain though. You're just, scrubbing and doing that kind of stuff. The actual bulb is costly, like I said, so be careful when handling that. And the quartz sleeve is made of glass, so if you drop it, even an inch, it's probably gonna break. Be careful. I've done this so many times where I drop something and this falls, and then the next thing falls, and it's just a really bad cycle. So after you have this all set up, make sure it's secure. I'll show you how you're gonna put it into the tank. This is the middle column. These are the filter pad chambers. This is my protein skimmer, my filter media, and it goes right in the dead center. You don't want it too early in the cycle. That will be bad for the growing bacteria. So with my Nuvo, this pump is a little bit hard to place into this small slit. There you go. And just be careful when gentling, putting it down in your tank. They are connected together, so you need to kind of sync up the wires. Just put it right in like that. Make sure it's tightly fit. And something that's a very good idea is with this extra piece of equipment, this comes out all the time. So take a nice clip, put it on there, then we can go back down. And we can turn on the tank again. Now we have to add the UV sterilizer and the pump. So now should be, there goes the water. It's going down, 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 down. You just want to give it a good look. Make sure it doesn't have any leaks. UV sterilizers are a very simple piece of equipment that most aquariums should have. I hope this video helped educate you guys why you might need one and what having one is like. If you have any questions at all, let me know. And any recommendations for new videos, I'd love to hear. Message me, let me know. Thanks for your time. George out.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.